Today we're talking about restaurant costs benchmarks, more specifically, costs as percentages of sales. Now, one of the very first lessons I learned regarding running a restaurant and diagnosing its issues was to take a look at its costs and compare it with industry standards or benchmarks. So what I've done is I've defined our major cost categories right here. We have our food cost, labor cost, all other operating expenses, and of course, our net profit. Now, what we're typically looking for is a 30% food cost. Now, this also includes beverages as well. We're looking for a 30% labor cost. And these are what we call our prime costs because they are the primary variable expenses that go into selling our product. So, and these are going to be variable, meaning that they will fluctuate with the level of activity that our restaurant experiences. So these, of course, will go up the more sales we have, and they'll go down, if our sales decline. Now, with these prime costs being the main costs, the main variable costs involved with selling our product, I could take a look at just those two cost categories alone and tell you your ability to pay your bills is like. So if I have prime costs that are around 65% instead of 60%, 30 plus 30, I know that you're going to have some difficulty paying all the bills. Now, if your prime costs soar to 70% or greater, I know for a fact you're not going to be able to pay your bills. So again, these two cost categories are very important and should be watched very closely. So finally, we have operating expenses, and this will be right around 30% as well. And this, of course, is going to be more of a fixed cost. And that's because this number will most likely remain relatively stable, regardless if we're selling a lot or if we're not. So really, we want to keep these controlled and keep them as low as possible because these will be here regardless of the activity level. And of course, that leaves us with a 10% net profit, which again is not very significant. And this is why restaurateurs, restaurant managers need to track things very carefully. Now, these numbers can serve as your x-ray into the company. Now, if my food cost is up around 50%, now I know I need to start asking some questions. Is there waste? Is there spoilage? Or typically, is there theft? These are questions I need to ask if these vary significantly from industry benchmarks. I hope that helps, and we'll see you next time.